Yes, well, and well, you sort of also, I mean, there is a big cultural element which is different between Calgary. You know, you have a mostly Western descent. I mean, you know, I know you have some immigrants, but probably not in the same percentage that we have here.
No,
you know, when you have a segment of the population which is, you know, you can't even call them minority when they represent 40% of the population or more. So it is, you know, it is a big, and it is very difficult to appeal to people who are not, you know, who think of animals as you know, it's just something that you throw a bone out of the backyard, and you know, you don't want to neuter them because it's like castrating them themselves or something. You know, you have a sort of, it's really difficult to reach, you know, and even through education. If you have a cult, you know, people bring with them a certain cultural background, and you know, I don't think that all the education is going to make much difference, but it would take a long time.
Yeah, but if you don't do it, it'll take forever. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
So I've been asked that question before too. We're about 25% ethnically diverse, but there are three diversities in your community you have to consider. And ethnic is actually the easiest one. Economic diversity, social diversity, so levels of education, how susceptible people are. You have to know those. Those are actually tools. Those are not disadvantages. So again, if you're like 45% Hispanic, the answer is simple. Hola, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Give your programs in Spanish. You start, and ours is Asian, is our largest diversity is Asian. Yeah. So we'll work with leaders in that community and start to turn that.
You know, if you have like Santa Barbara, the South County is mostly administrative and whatever, but if you move into Northern County, it is mostly rural and agricultural. So you have, you know, on top of the diversity in, you know, lifestyle, and
social diversity.
You have social diversity and cultural diversity. So it's really difficult to reach everybody.
So you have the advantage, you know your community, and what you need to do is figure out how you message to the groups of community. And the hint is find your easiest target first, your most susceptible to changing, and work with them first, then build from that strength. Really, what you have to get your head around is that ethnic, social, whatever diversity is actually, it's a how question, not a what question. Licensing, responsible pet ownership, partnershiping, those are the how, or the what questions. What do you need to do? Now, if my model was something you just plug and play, believe me, I wouldn't be standing here for free. I would have patented it, bottled it, and I'd be selling this as a magic elixir. The elixir is not the how, the elixir is the what's. And then each community has to determine for themselves through community contact, what does it take to move it forward? And that has to be always followed with positive reinforcement. We use the media. I'm on the news almost every day for something because my department's so broad. I try to get animals out there at least 2-3 times a week, animal issues. And when we see positive things happening, that's news that we did this. So when we saw cats being sent home instead of being killed, that was big news. And all the media cover it.
They want me to stop talking.
Yeah, that's okay. So you have to use all those tools in your community when you educate and then positive reinforce. You have to tell your community, you know, we are constantly telling our Calgarians, you guys are the most responsible pet owners anywhere.
Well, yes.
And because people need that. People need that positive reinforcement.
Yes, but I think too, I mean, your program too is working because I think you have also a fairly affluent society.
Actually, if you look at our, do you know what the salary rate is for a free spay and neuter right now? $21,000 for a single person. Calgary is a very expensive place to live, and you know, give you some Canadian stats. Only 4% of Canadians make over $100,000 a year. So we have a lot of people that are on that borderline, but it's again, and I'll say that to licensing fees, which I didn't cover. That $31 fee for an altered dog, that's not a magic number. That's my number, and that's what the tipping point in my community says is the best I can do. If I go to $32, I'm going to lose customers, and I'm going to have to then work harder to get them back. So you have to figure out what your point is. what is the right license fee for your community? Will you be able to achieve 100% solvency, self-sufficiency? Maybe yes, maybe no. But if you get halfway there, isn't that better than nothing?